Once upon a time, there was a wealthy businessman named Femi who lived in the bustling city of Lagos, Nigeria. Femi was a loving husband and father to two children, Kemi and Tunde. His wife, Nneka, was a beautiful and well-respected woman in their community, but she had grown used to the luxuries that Femi's wealth provided. Femi, though generous and kind, began to notice that Nneka's love seemed more tied to his money than to him as a person. She became more interested in social gatherings and expensive items, paying less attention to their marriage. To test her true feelings, Femi came up with a plan. He pretended to be sacked from his job and told Nneka that they were in financial trouble. Nneka was shocked and began to withdraw from Femi, no longer the caring and supportive wife she once was. She started treating him with less respect, and Femi even experienced hunger in his own home, as Nneka was no longer eager to provide for him as before. Femi pretended to apply for jobs at other companies, but each time he would come home with stories of rejection. His once vibrant and loving home became a place of tension and neglect. The children, Kemi and Tunde, felt the strain but were unaware of their father's plan. Despite his situation, Femi secretly continued to pay the children's school fees, ensuring they didn't suffer from his tests. He wanted to see if Nneka would eventually realize her wrongs and stand by him as a true partner should. But as the days turned into weeks, Nneka showed no signs of change. Instead, she became more distant and cold. Nneka's friend, Anita, soon entered the picture. Anita was known for her flashy lifestyle and bold opinions, always quick to offer advice, whether good or bad. When Nneka confided in her about Femi's supposed job loss, Anita did not hesitate to plant seed of doubt. "Why should you stay with a man who can't even provide for his family?" Anita questioned with a sly smile. "You are too beautiful and smart to waste your life on a man who's going nowhere." Nneka, already frustrated and resentful, began to listen more and more to Anita's toxic advice. Anita suggested that Nneka start looking for her own opportunities, even encouraging her to reach out to wealthy men she knew from their school circles. As Nneka pulled further away from Femi, she started spending more time outside the home, dressing up in her finest clothes and attending high-class events. She even began receiving expensive gifts from a certain admirer, which she kept hidden from Femi. Femi, on the other hand, grew increasingly heartbroken but remained patient, hoping that Nneka would realize her mistakes. He noticed the change in her behavior, the late nights, the secret phone calls, and the growing distance between them, but still he said nothing, watching in silence as his wife drifted further away. One evening, Femi overheard a conversation between Nneka and Anita. They were discussing a plan for Nneka to move back to her parents' house, leaving Femi behind. Anita's voice was full of enormous excitement as she convinced Nneka that it was the best move for her. "Leave him," Anita urged. "You deserve better. Let him see what it feels like to be truly alone." This was the final blow for Femi. His heart sank as he realized that Nneka had no intentions of staying by his side, no matter the situation. The woman he once loved has been consumed by greed and selfishness, influenced by Anita's poisonous words. But Femi was not one to give up easily. He knew that he had to confront the truth and bring this charade to an end. He devised a plan to reveal everything, but not before giving Nneka one last chance to prove herself. Femi arranged a surprise meeting with his lawyer and the children's school principal, inviting Nneka without telling her the full details. When she arrived, dressed to impress as always, she was shocked to see Femi there along with the lawyer and the principal. The truth was laid bare. Femi had never lost his job, and the financial troubles were all part of this test to see where Nneka's true loyalties lay. The lawyer presented documents showing that Femi had continued to pay the children's school fees and manage the family finances in secret. Nneka's face turned pale as the reality of the situation dawned on her. She had been exposed, her true intentions revealed for all to see. But instead of remorse, Nneka's pride took over. She looked at Femi with cold eyes and simply said, "You are a fool for testing me like this." With that, Nneka turned and walked out, leaving Femi behind without a second thought. Anita was waiting outside, ready to whisk her away to another lavish party, uncaring of the destruction she had caused. As the days passed, Anita began to notice something that made her rethink her position. Despite everything, Femi was still well off. He hadn't lost his charm, his wealth, or his connections. While Nneka was busy living her new life, Anita couldn't help but feel a pang of jealousy. She was 36 years old, unmarried, and all her friends were either married or in serious relationships. The party and the flashy lifestyle had started to lose their appeal. Anita started to see Femi in a new light. He still has it, she thought to herself. A man like Femi wasn't easy to find, and here was Nneka throwing it all away. Anita began to act differently around Femi. Whenever they crossed paths, she would greet him warmly, offering to help with anything he needed. She started dropping by his house more often, under the pretense of checking on the children or running errands for Nneka. Femi, already hot and cautious, noticed Anita's change in behavior. He wasn't sure what her intentions were, but he allowed her to hang around, thinking it was harmless. Little did he know that Anita had her own agenda. As Anita spent more time with Femi, she began to reveal things about Nneka. She would casually mention how Nneka had been receiving gifts from other men, how she was spending nights out at clubs, and how she had been talking about leaving Femi for good. She made it sound like she was just being a concerned friend, but in reality she was trying to drive a wedge between Femi and Nneka. Meanwhile, Anita continued to poison Nneka's mind against Femi. Whenever Nneka confided in her about any doubt or regret, Anita would quickly shut them down. "Don't forget what he did to you," Anita would say. "He tested you like you were nothing. You deserve better than that. There are plenty of men who will treat you like the queen you are." Nneka, confused and hot, would nod in agreement, letting Anita's words sink deeper into her mind. She didn't realize that Anita was playing both sides, trying to win Femi over while pushing her further away from him. One day, Femi confronted Anita about the things she had been saying. He had finally put the pieces together and realized that Anita wasn't just being a concerned friend, she had her own motives. Anita, caught off guard, tried to play it off. "I was just looking out for you, Femi," she said with a nervous smile. "Nneka has been acting strange, and I thought you should know the truth." Femi, now fully aware of Anita's game, decided to turn the tables. He played along, pretending to appreciate her concern, all the while gathering more information about what Anita has been up to. As Anita continued to dig herself deeper into the situation, Femi prepared for the final move. He knew that he had to end this twisted game once and for all, but he needed to be smart about it. He couldn't let Anita or Nneka see what he was planning. Femi played along with Anita's games, pretending not to know her true intentions, but deep inside, he was planning something big, something that would change everything. One day, Femi invited Anita over to his house, saying he wanted to thank her for all her help. Anita, thinking Femi was finally warming up to her, dressed in her best outfit and went to his house feeling confident. When she arrived, Femi welcomed her with a smile. They sat down in the living room and Femi started talking about how much he appreciated her friendship. Anita was thrilled, thinking this was the moment she has been waiting for. But then something unexpected happened. Femi suddenly stood up and said, "Anita, I have a surprise for you." He led her to the dining room where a big envelope was laying on the table. Anita's eyes widened. She thought it might be a gift or maybe money. But when she opened the envelope, her face turned pale. Inside were pictures of her and Nneka's secret admirer, the man who has been sending gifts to Nneka. There were also messages Anita had sent to him, plotting how to break Femi and Nneka apart. Anita was shocked. She stammered, trying to explain, but then Femi didn't let her speak. "I knew what you were doing all along," Femi said calmly. You tried to destroy my family for your own gain. You betrayed Nneka and me. Just then, the door to the dining room opened, and Nneka walked in. She had been listening to everything. She looked at Anita with a mix of anger and sadness. You were supposed to be my friend, Anita, Nneka said quietly, tears in her eyes. Anita, realizing she had been caught, tried to run, but Femi blocked her path. It's over, Anita, he said firmly. You have lost everything. Nneka, seeing the truth, felt a wave of regret for how she had treated Femi. She realized that Anita had been manipulating her all along, but now it was too late. Femi turned to Nneka and said, I never wanted it to end like this, but now we know who our true enemies are. With that, Femi told Anita to leave and never come back. Anita, ashamed and defeated, left the house with nothing. She had lost her friend and chance with Femi and her reputation. Nneka, humbled by the experience, asked Femi for forgiveness. She realized that she has been blinded by greed and bad advice. Femi, though hurt, decided to give her marriage one last chance. They had been through so much, and now it was time to rebuild. The story ended with Femi and Nneka working together to fix their broken relationship, learning from their mistakes and growing stronger as a family. Anita, on the other hand, was left alone, a reminder that greed and betrayal only lead to downfall.